Hey, so here we are. We're starting a stream with a built Gundam. It's kind of strange, starting a build stream with a thing already built. But as I move this stuff out of the way, I'll give you some context, an update, in case you missed the first kind of two parts of this build. They were a while ago. They were like a couple months ago, I think, if I remember correctly. And so what this kit is, and I'm going to try to keep my hands really clean here because these transparent parts, I don't want to put fingerprints on them. So while I clean my hands, we'll talk about it. This was a kit that I picked up at the Gundam Base traveling roadshow store, pop-up store thing that was going around the United States toward the end of last year. And it is all three versions of the AGE-1, the Master Grade AGE-1. So we've built two of them. The first one was the AGE-1 normal, and its arms and legs are around the outsides here because the way the kit works is they only give you one torso because all three variations of the Gundam share the same torso and head. And so we built the whole thing up, then we took the arms and legs off of that one, and we, in the last stream, built the arms and legs for the AGE-1 Spallo, which is this blue and black variant. And today we're going to build the Titus, which I think is going to be my favorite. I expect that this is the one that I'm going to keep as far as, you know, keeping the thing on display in this third variation. So I'm going to move these things out of the way and get the parts out to start putting together the Titus. And so what I've done with these parts, all the transparent ones, because, you know, they're transparent, I didn't want to paint them and mess them up. So they are just hit with a gloss top coat. And actually, that added to their transparency and shine quite a bit. So I'm happy with how that turned out. I think these are the arm parts and these are the leg parts. And then all the inner frame parts, because they're going to be visible somewhat through the clear outer bits. I went ahead and painted those up with various metallics, did a little bit of hand painting on them as well, and dry brushing to give them sort of this nice, finished, interesting look that I hope will, you know, like I said, some of it at least show through to the outside, or through the outside armor a bit, so that we can see that. Hey, 16 is here. Yeah, so I think this is starting to become my favorite way to build kits, which it wasn't always. I used to snap build them first and then take them apart and paint them and put them back together. This kit, to try to save time, and also because I didn't want to damage the clear parts, you know, put any scratches or anything like that on them, I just painted the parts, you know, without doing any assembly and have them completely painted, and now we're going to assemble. It saves time. I think if I was doing a lot of customizing on a kit, I might still want to, you know, snap build it first just to see kind of how things fit together and where certain details and stuff should be added. But this approach has been pretty good for this clear color kit, which this is my first time building a clear color kit, and maybe my last as well. Nike is here. People I haven't seen your names in so long because I haven't streamed in so long, right? Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's been forever, right? I've been spending all of my time that I would normally stream or create video content building a printer. It's not that one, so that's my big Voron printer back there. Just off camera to this side is a new small Voron V0 that I built, and so I was recording a fairly long series that's on my YouTube channel that's a build for that. And so that's where I've been for the last like 2 months. I've been working on that, and now we're back. Yeah, so I'm not worried so much about seam lines. I think you're right, and especially for high-grade kits, right? I find that, at least for more modern master grade kits, I don't usually worry about seam lines. Oh, nice! Congrats on the job. That's awesome. So yeah, with these I've not been worried about what seam lines are going to look like. The other thing is, so I'll get you a much closer up view here. I tried to dry brush these things in such a way that there's a gap right there, but the way that the dry brushing kind of distresses the metallic, hopefully that just looks like more of part of the metallic construction of it. So, Spade, hello, welcome. So yeah, you guys probably noticed I have these parts painted. However, I have not cut out any of the polycaps, right? So as we go through, I don't ever try to paint polycaps anymore. I tried once or twice and it was not a fun time. And so I've just left the polycaps on the runner, and I will grab them as we need them. Yeah, Bandai's been getting better and better too about hiding seam lines. I think especially on master grade kits, but even on some of the high grades too, right? Yeah, exactly. Not a good idea. Well, I mean, you can try, right? But they're just gonna fall off. The paint is gonna fall off, in my experience at least. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, I don't know if you guys might have rubber hands, those are terrible. You guys might have not, you might have tuned in after I had this on the screen, but this was the Spallo, right? And so we're gonna have to cannibalize this and take the arms and legs off at some point when we're done here to put the arms and legs for the Titus onto this torso. Also, I got out all of these metallic painted parts, and I forgot that I probably also need the clear ones too. Let's grab those. Yeah, one body, 3 options. It all came in the same kit, right? This was the Gundam Base limited edition clear color version of this thing, so it was basically the entire AGE-1 AGE-1 normal, and then just the runners for the arms and legs, and a couple of slight variations on the front skirts for the waist as well. So I'm sure that when they designed these kits, they made it so that those were separate runners because they knew they were going to do this sort of thing. Do you think we'll ever get real grade H kits though? I feel like that's doubtful. I will say though, having built this now, at least 2 of the 3, I think that the design of the AGE kits has definitely grown on me through the process. The first 2 of these that I built, it looks very much like candy, doesn't it? Look at that. This is I just cleaned these up with a glass file to try to remove the nub marks as best as I possibly could, but then it's just hit with a clear, regular old Gaia Notes clear gloss from my airbrush. And it turned out looking good. Yeah, the first like 2 of these streams when we built the other 2 variations, I actually tried to wear gloves. I think in the first one I tried to wear gloves because I'm afraid of getting fingerprints on, too much on these nice clear parts, and even some of the metallic ones as well. But it was tricky to build with gloves on, so now I'm just gonna clean my hands as much as possible with these little wet wipe things as we go. Real grade turn A would be amazing. I think master grade turn A is still one of my favorite kits that I've built. It's just such a unique design, and it was an interesting build. Like the way the runners were designed and laid out was interesting as well, I thought. Alright, let's see. So we got this guy and this insert. I'm now wishing I had done a little detail painting on the back side of this part because you can see it through here. That's alright. Like the little rims around these circular bits there, I should have done in the gold. Yeah, for me, the painted parts, like, I'm okay with once they're top coated, right? I'm not so worried about the paint. I'm just mostly worried about getting fingerprints on, especially like the insides of these clear bits and then snapping a piece on. So then I can't, always you can wipe it off the outside of it later if you see that you've left a fingerprint on something. But yeah, I'm overly concerned about having fingerprints down inside here somewhere where it's going to be impossible for me to clean it off later. So if like I'm taking photos of the kit and I realize, yeah, I can't clean a fingerprint off, I'll be sad. The biggest shoulder of any Gundam? Maybe? No, it's probably not true. It's very large and round, though. So there's articulation there, and there's separate articulation there. Interesting. All right, now it does look like a nice piece of candy that we should try to eat, but let's not. It's got like a crunchy candy coating. All right, now according to the instructions, we have the part that attaches this like onto the torso. And I believe that that part needs to be reused from here. So like, see if I pull that arm off, this little bit that's left behind wants to have a different part here on top. Where is that part? Or maybe not. Does that stay blue here, or do we have a red part that takes the place of that? Let me check. Because I thought we did, but maybe we don't. Yeah, I need to swap that blue piece. That's what I thought. Yes, definitely. There is a red piece. So the question is, what have I done with it? Ah, it's here. Yeah, you know, I always thought the same thing, like, but now that I've built a clear kit, I gotta say, like, it's okay. I'm not enjoying it as much. Like, the style that I tend to like to do my kits in is very much like a lot of scribing on the outer armor and a very like matte detail, you know, factory clean matte kind of a look. And so the clear doesn't lend itself well to that. Hey, we should just leave him like this, yeah? One giant shoulder and one regular one. All right, let's build this upper arm. I mean, maybe that's the answer. I've been trying to figure out, like, how do I want to display this thing? And I think I like the Titus better than the other two, although I haven't seen it completed yet. But, yeah, maybe the actual answer is something weird and a combo, a mixture of everything, just to be different. All right, there's that. Yeah, see, so this is one of those places where like a seam line is definitely visible. And if I really, really cared, I might have put these together ahead of time and closed that up before painting, but I think it'll be fine. Now we get to find out if when I separated out these parts into the bins by the sections, we get to find out if I got the ones for the arm joint correct. It's like sometimes I end up with the elbow joint, like the opposite direction of these parts than the ones I need. Yeah, I think it's fun to try to go outside of your normal style. Although I will say for me, like, I've done some battle damage stuff and it's hard, right? I'm sure that with practice you can get better at it, but like for me, I have trouble getting the scale of it right and feeling like, you know, that the battle damage that I add is, I don't know, that it's just realistic looking, right? Both with the scale of the kit and then also, you know, telling a story rather than just having random damage in certain, you know, different spots all around the kit. So that's something that I would have to definitely practice at if I wanted to do more of it, especially to like enter competitions and such. Only did scribing once. Yeah, that's another thing that, like, the more you do it, the I think, you know, certainly the more accomplished you get at it. But like for me, the process of designing panel lines and then scribing them is like just a super relaxing time. Like I don't know what it is about it, but like it just yeah, for me it's something that I can just, you know, like for hours and hours kind of just lose myself in that work. And I find it relaxing and enjoyable. That is true, yes. All right, the inside of this, I'm digging how that looks. That's very cool. Yeah. So it was just airbrushed with like a Gaia Starbright iron, I think. It was whichever darkish metal Gaia paint that I had enough left of in the bottle that I thought I could do the inner frames of all three of these kits basically without running out. So it was that, and then I painted some copper and some gold in a few spots, and then some metallic reds and blues as well. And then did a quick pass with a dry brush over the whole thing before the gloss top coat. Does this have a specific orientation that it needs? It doesn't look like it. It's the same on this side and that. All right. Have I seen Gundam Age? Yes, I have. I watched the whole thing, and I think the first part I enjoyed, and then after that I didn't enjoy it so much. Like the second and third parts. Damage scale, yeah. Well, I mean, if you're worried about little details like that, I think you're definitely on the right track and further along than me at those types of disciplines for sure. Oh, sad. All this nice metallic work inside of here is about to just get covered up. Yeah. Oh well. Alright, there he is, all lopsided with one giant arm and one regular arm. I didn't show you guys yet. I'm sure you're well aware though, the hands, the hand parts for this thing they make me laugh every time because they're so big. Yeah, you know, so these are his fingers, right? These are his fingers in scale with a regular hand. There's a thumb, if the camera will focus. There we go. All right, we'll put these fingers on him, I guess, for now. Or the fist. Yeah, just the spread out fingers make the hand look even bigger, so we'll go with those. All right, my friend, here's your giant hand. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's just leave him like that. What do we think? And then put like one of the random white legs from here on there. Yeah. Mismatched everywhere. No, so looking at this does almost already confirm for me that the Titus is going to be my favorite variation of this thing. Alright, save the other fingers so that we don't lose them. And I'll just go real quick here and build the other arm. Astrograde Darkhound. I have one of those. I built it like when I was sort of brand new to coming back to this hobby. I built Gunpla kits when I was much younger. I actually lived in South Korea and had a good source of being able to buy them. And then I stopped for a long time, and when I got back into the hobby like 6 or 7 years ago now, I picked up the Darkhound, and I think I still have it in my display case. It's pretty terrible. I didn't do a very good job painting it or anything. I was still figuring stuff out. So that one is in my collection and maybe needs a rebuild. Like I should do it again at some point to make it better. Yeah, before I put that together, I should have put the polycap on there, yeah. As a kid in the early 2000s. So see, that's the difference, is that I'm an old guy. So my childhood in South Korea was like in the late 1980s. Now you can do the math and figure out how old I really am. But yeah, I went away to college, and then, you know, started a family and all that stuff, and forgot about building model kits. But then later on, I was able to get back into it, which is always a good time. All right, there's our second piece of cherry-coated candy. Interesting. I didn't play with the articulation on that other one, but now I understand why it has this extra bit right there, so that that can pivot inside when the arm swings up to the side. should just get the other ones we need while I've got this polycap runner in my hand. Those two for sure. And then there was one more, right? The wrist, whichever one goes in the wrist. It's this big one. All right. Hey, it's Walter. Welcome. I think the main reason I lost interest as a kid. Ah. Yeah, well, it's a good thing that Bandai made Master Grades for a little while, right? I don't I don't know that they're doing that anymore. It's a bit sad, actually. Walter, what are you working on? You can't just say that and then not tell us. Alright, we've gotten to the part where I'm just ignoring the instructions and I'm putting stuff together and I'm probably going to forget something, so that'll be fun. Master Grade Epion. Very nice. See, now I should actually pay attention to the instructions because the direction this elbow joint bends is probably important, right? Yeah. Let's say it goes this way. A simple HG. Well, I mean, every model kit is only as simple as you want to make it, right? You can choose to make it a lot more complicated than just a simple HG if you'd like. Awesome. Yeah, the Master Grade Epion, I think you'll enjoy that one. It just straight out of the box. I think it looks really good. And I don't recall having any big like issues when I built that one. It seemed like it fit together okay and didn't seem like it was going to have any loose or floppy joints or anything like that. Keeping my hands clean. I'm still overly concerned about fingerprints on the inside of these clear parts. So like every time I put one of them together, I'm double checking to make sure I don't see any fingerprints in there. Elbow, which way do you bend? That way. Okay. I forgot a part. Don't worry. We can put it in now. There we go. All right, so we have to do that same thing with the other shoulder when we take the blue arm off of this guy, where I swap out that one little part with his red version. That was actually the hardest part of this whole process so far, was swapping out that little part, because I'm afraid of like scratching the existing part that's there. But let's build the hand first. If I leave too many things on the table underneath where I'm holding things up in the air, I realize that the camera doesn't focus correctly. Interesting. Which way do you go? I'm gonna look at the instructions and figure it out. This detail, the rectangular detail, is toward the inside of the hand, and the circular detail is on the outside. Now we know. All right, one more gigantic hand. So, let's do some arm removal surgery. All right, perfect. I guess since the torso doesn't change, he still has this, like, the blue fin piece on the back, right? Even in the Titus variant? Yeah, it must be. It looks kind of strange, actually, with those little blue fins sticking up over the top of the big, round, red shoulders. A little bit weird. All right, so legs or waist units. Right, the way that the Spallo variant works, as far as the waist unit goes, is that there are like these extra parts. For the most part, the skirts stay the same. Right? But there's like this blue part here which actually comes loose from the yellow part that's above it. And then you can like pull these off from the side, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Not that much. This much. This part stays on there. Well, actually, we're gonna hold on to these and put them back later. But yeah, so this part is just for the blue guy, the Spallo. And then I think we have here the parts to build what is basically an equivalent thing of this with red instead for this version. And the question is, should I care to look at the instructions to figure this out, or should I just try to piece it together? I think the answer is it looks fairly straightforward. So these go like this. These must go like this, right? Yeah. And then that fits in there, and this fits on here. And one of these goes on this side. I'm not sure which one goes on which side. Maybe I should consult the instructions. All right, I got it. So this one goes on this side. All right, and then the way these work is this plugs in from the side here, like that, and then it kind of clips into the back of this, which holds it all in place. Just like that. And then the front skirts are just these small yellow ones. The AGE-1 normal variant had like this little white part here that comes out and attaches there and fits up underneath those as well. So it has bigger front skirts. Spallo and Titus both just have these very small, only yellow front skirts. It's kind of like the top half of the complete front skirt. All right, so 2 big chunky legs left to go. I gotta say, I was amazed when separating the parts out for this part of the build at the number of pieces and the size of them that are just the feet for this guy. Maybe the Master Grade Sazabi has just as many and just as big of pieces, you know, that go in, that build up the feet, but that was the only other kit that I could think of that has, you know, this pile of parts right here is just feet, just 1 foot. Looks like that's it. Just 2 polycaps per foot. Yeah. All right. Painting on this part came out really good too. I'm happy with that one for sure. Order might matter here. Let's put this one on first. All right, and this painted part that I really like now is probably about to get covered up. Actually not. Excellent. Maybe we'll be able to see that. If we bend the ankle up, like, or the back of the foot up that way? Yeah. I think we will. Yeah, the painted parts on the back of his ankle and the, like, kind of where it meets up with the foot are going to all be visible. Nice. All right. So this sort of ankle armor bit here is really floppy. I'm not sure I like that. The ball joint that it sits on inside there is, yeah, just too loose. I can disassemble it and probably fix that up, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. It seems like a problem for my future self to figure out. But since we're building this foot a second time here, I will be a little bit careful. I'll pay attention this time to how that ball joint goes together that's holding the ankle armor, just to see if there's something I could do differently to tighten it up just a little bit on this other leg, on this other foot. Alright, so that is going to be this little sort of ball joint mechanism right here, which feels just as loose. Yeah, well, maybe not quite so loose. Interesting. If I just push these together really tightly, I can kind of tighten that up. Alright, so it's not as bad as I thought originally. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so if I push these two pieces together as tightly as they'll go, there's enough pressure put on the back of this ball joint that it gets a little bit less wobbly. It's still not great. Let's see, which way does this go? With the 2 notches at the top. Okay. Yeah, that one feels slightly less loose. So maybe this one, if I just push this extra hard there. It's okay. All right, 2 feet. These are all of the leg parts. Yeah, so that's it. So the leg doesn't seem very complicated actually at all. Oh look, it's a face. He has a face in his knee, apparently. Looks less like a face now, with the armor on the outside of it. That goes there. This goes down here. Oh, cool. Past me did something smart. These painted parts line up with one another. It's been a while since I painted these things, and so yeah, cool. Good job, Past me. Oh, and they're kind of visible through the outside of this clear red armor. Nice. Hands are clean again, probably, maybe. This goes here. And probably like that, yeah? This way, this way. And then this one goes this way. And then this probably goes on top. Yeah. I still wish, I think I probably said this when I built the original AGE-1 normal version of this kit, but this like clear white plastic that they used is this kind of milky clear white, and I kind of wish they would have just gone with completely transparent. I think it would have looked better. Alright, so which way does this knee joint go? This one goes there, this one goes this way. Cool, and then in the instructions it's showing me that it wants me to build the hip joint, but I think we just have to reuse the ones that are already in the legs that we're going to pull off of the other version of the kit, because I don't have more parts for any additional hip joints. That goes like that. It doesn't feel like it fit all the way down in there. Did it? I guess it did. Okay. Yep, that looks right. And then the foot goes on like that. And so, yeah, let's do some surgery here on this guy. Actually, I can probably just pull the legs off this way instead of taking the hip joints out from the sides. And we'll stash these over here. And then we should just be able to slide this on from below. Nice. Alright, one more leg to build. Alright, that goes that way. This should go this way. Is that right? Yes. Alright, cool. So we can put these together. This goes in here. That one goes up there. The knee goes on here. Nice. So chunky. Alright, so there's our boy. And let's see what else I got here. So I have extra fingers, you know, for all the different sized hands in different poses. And then I have a bunch of effect parts. And these are the ones that go around the shoulders, I believe. Let's see if there's something in the instructions here for this. Yeah, so all of these little guys can optionally be like here, right? There's 4 of them on this shoulder, 4 of them on this shoulder, and 3 on each of the knees. Like that. And then these round ones are for his, like, punch effect. Right, so you put 2 of these together, and you fit that into this area right here. Direction matters? Yes. Like this. Like this. Right. This would make more sense if his fist was there instead of his open hand, right? But that's the idea with that one. Turns out taking this off is not so easy. There we go. Reassemble. Yeah, so I think that's it. Like, the Titus doesn't have a weapons loadout of its own. And it can't use the knife weapon or the gun weapon from the AGE-1 normal and the Spallo because its hands are so big. I guess it is its own weapon, right? Just the giant fists. Cool. So that's it done, I think. Very red, very shiny, very candy looking. I do like the look of this transparent red once it's been glossed up and everything. Again, I don't like the transparent white plastic they used here. The blue looks nice too. So yeah, the Spallo variant and the Titus variant are definitely my favorites of this guy. Just because, like, the AGE-1 normal is just mostly this white plastic that I don't like. The design of it's fine. Just the execution of the model kit in the clear color version I'm not crazy about. But, yeah, I'm likely to display this thing in this variation pretty much from now on. Although, I still need to take good photos of all 3. And so I'm going to have to take the arms and legs off of this guy and put the other versions back together and get that in my photo booth and take some good photos over the next couple of days. Hopefully I'll have some time to do that. So, for now though, that's going to do it for this build. That doesn't seem like it's seated in there correctly. There we go. Nice. Alright, so there he is. AGE-1 Titus. Clear color version. He's dislocated his thumbs. Let me fix those. Excellent. Yeah, looking good. So yeah, overall, I think I enjoyed the build. Again, not crazy about clear color kits and probably won't build too many more of them in the future, just because I enjoy painting so much, right? And having these clear parts kind of takes away the ability to do very much of that. So yeah. But it did come out looking pretty good overall, I would say. And so I'm happy enough with it. All right, that's gonna do it. Thanks to the guys who tuned in, who chatted a little while ago from Twitch. I'll try to do more of these more regularly than I had been, because I do enjoy it, and it gives me a chance to build gunpla kits, which I like to do, and I haven't gotten as much time lately to do it as I used to be able to make time to do. So yeah, always a fun time. All right, but for now I will say thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Whenever that is. I don't know. There's no schedule. It's cool. We'll figure it out. See you later.